foundational pieces. I ain't gonna lie. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Bro.
Pre, what's up? We gotta have a birthday party when you come over here. Yeah, I know, man. Shit got tied up. I got a birthday party for you, though, when you come through. And just so everybody know, April Fool's Day has been rescheduled to May 1st. That's if everything opened back up. I'll hit you up. Man, so look. It's two type of people that I just don't understand. I'm gonna flip over to my screen. Oh, let me switch over. So I posted a video about an audio that was entitled.
This is my favorite one. Well,
it was entitled "The Forbidden Knowledge." And it was pretty much an audio book. You know, on Gnosis, knowledge, information, perspective, and shit like that. But what be killing me is that people don't understand the point of like information. I think those be the same people that don't have a true understanding on the difference between, you know, like religion, any type of religion, and like spirituality. I'm trying to switch my screen so I can show y'all this shit. Fucking entire screen. All right, this shit ain't working. All right. So if y'all seen the last video I posted called "The Forbidden Religion," now I really don't see this in my group. I guess these are people that are just, you know, like passing by. But I'm gonna go to it. So when I post shit, I think like if people that let alone don't know me, and damn show for the people that's, you know, that don't even follow me and like pay some sort of attention, it's like everything I post might not be something that like I personally like entertain, and it's absolutely, or that I 100%, believe or follow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how I post. Okay, somebody say you watched the video confused on where Jesus fits in with Gnostics. Okay, well, so this is the thing. At no point in time, now this is old stuff. I'm digging up that of information and related to in the spirituality side of things, the dark side, you know, of the spiritual body. It this is like throwback shit. You know what I'm saying? For me, some of this shit I didn't fucked around. I remember the concept, but it's like I can't tell you to go to page 67 inside of the forbidden knowledge, and you will find blah 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 and blah blah blah, and it states this and it says that. I'm not that type of guy. It's like I'm not doing that shit. I don't do shit for those purposes. It's like I've come across, and not only come across like information. I've personally have a certain experience. As far as with the whole religion, with spirituality, with with like deities, with the gods, with the devils or the demons, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was open to that shit. You know, my gateway was open like ever since I could remember. I thought it was regular. I thought everybody had a connection with the other side and shit like that. I thought everybody seen spirits at night. I thought everybody had, what I'm saying, the fights with the demons. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was everybody. But you realize quick when you brought into the community aspect of things or situations or experiences like school, church, and just out of date activities or whatever with other people. You started to get to meet people, you started to get to know people, and shit. You start to get what people are up to. You know what I'm saying? Like what people are into, people's experiences. You start to learn people's experiences, and I haven't really met too many people that have really dealt in that area. Even though I know everybody has had the opportunity to, for the most part, at some point in time, in life, you know what I'm saying? But I think for the most part, that's one of them doors where somebody sort of submits self, you know what I'm saying, to something outside of self in return for some sort of protection, not necessarily power, but some sort of protection, because in order to face those certain demons or whatever, you have to be able to face certain type of shit on the dark side within yourself. So, I thought everybody fought that shit, but nah, they don't. That's what most people lose themselves at and get caught into other shit and other people around them and start to get an influence on how you should think or what's right and what's wrong and stuff like that. And most people have had that influence just by how you was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Most of us probably grew up in a traditional church or grew up, at a mosque or grew up somewhere, and that's what you begin to know and understand and believe. And the art of believing is a contradiction because it's taught in a way where it's like you're taught you're programmed to believe into believing instead of and outside of like knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? But then there's a reality. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the actual like facts of the matter, regardless of what the fuck you believe. You know what I'm saying? So a person can believe all the fuck they want to. You can believe the sky is green. Does that mean that the sky is not clearly fucking blue? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. and the belief starts to get, transferred from one to the other into the masses as truth. You know what I'm saying? And the belief is always tied to some form of fear in relation to some form and intent to control. So it's like, I don't know. I think the easiest way and the best, well, not the easiest, it's actually the hardest. I think the best way and the only way to really to really get close to self and conquering self, defeating self in the areas that self needs to be defeated. You got to, like you have to destroy certain parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like the fight, like destroying parts of yourself that have to be destroyed in order for you to grow any type of power, on another level type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's destroying a part of something that because you don't know nothing else more than self. You are self, self is you, it's a reflection of you. But some parts of self shit gotta go in order for you to become higher self or higher to the self that you know. Oh yeah, Josh say, my opinion, the dark is the most. I didn't know the light until I met the dark. That is a very, 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 that's a very important statement that he made. He say, my opinion, he like the dark is the, I guess he's saying like the most important or whatever. Like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he like, I didn't know the light until I met the dark. If for those that don't know what that means or don't understand what that means, that's pretty much your answer, in relation to have you been there before type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you've been there, if you had the opportunity to go through the darkness, you'll have the greatest opportunity to appreciate the light, because you'll actually be able to identify what is the light. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the mass majority of people in the world, worship a perception of a so-called light and truth, and power. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's has ever like tasted and felt that shit, like felt it in their heart, their soul. I ain't talking about like feeling in your soul, like your traditional Holy Ghost and no stuff like that, where it's like you invoke and provoke, energy outside of yourself, but then it happens to pass through you. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that shit's gonna happen. That's the whole art of any sort of like Holy Ghost. If 1,000 of us go and sit in one room, up under one roof, where there's nothing in between us, it's only walls surrounding us and a roof over us, and and the floor and the bottom, the top and the bottom. It's like the energy it has no choice but to harness itself. You know what I'm saying? It has no choice but to harness itself at all. It has no choice but to harness and replicate itself. And it's got to bounce around. It's gonna bounce around that whole room. It's gonna build, and it goes back out. You know what I'm saying? If we only could have like a visual on what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? If 1,000 of us in a room, we focus in on the lights. You know what I'm saying? Where we say nothing more but follow the light, follow the light, follow the light, follow the light. You know what I'm saying? And then we purposely, intentionally focus in on deactivating the light, shutting off the light, blowing up the light, transferring the light. We'll be amazed at how much shit that we can do and how that power actually works. That power is actually a form of manipulation. Like the design of prayer, when how they program, how most religions program a person to pray. That is a form of a manipulation of power. And I know a lot of people going really like, oh my God, he's an atheist. He said you shouldn't pray, and Blah, I did not say that at all. I did not say you should not pray. What I said is you should understand the aspects and concepts of what is actually going on when you are praying in the way that you were taught that you should pray in the act of what you think that you're communicating with us with a or your so-called God. Because it's too much room for manipulation of power, and that's really what happens. It's in a lot of the you know the religions. There's a with the pastors, with whoever's in control or the head of these you know organizations. There's a manipulation of power. It becomes a point where people are given this praise energy that's being provoked by the director. The director is it's provoking you. It's triggering your emotions. It's triggering you, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, subconsciously, consciously. All these things are happening at once because when we in sanctuary like that with an unconscious mind, it's like you're 1,000,000% vulnerable and subject to somebody else's control over your energy and your personal thoughts, like your actual thoughts. Like a person like that has seen a movie like Inception. Like the movie Inception was the whole art and the concept of invoking a thought into somebody's mind, or placing or planting, the art of like planting, to plant a thought in somebody's mind to the point and to the degree where the person actually thinks that that's their own thought, that it was naturally produced. So like Josh said, sometimes and most times, if not all times, you have to go through the darkness in order to see the light. And this is not nothing you got to go through all the time. Like you don't have to live a life of darkness. Who the hell wants to do that shit? Like what type of, what I'm saying? Like what type of satisfaction is that if you just like, if you say it like that and leave it like that without the actual explanation or disclaimer outside of that. I'm saying every person should experience the act of going into the darkness, to their deepest selves, to their most vulnerable selves, to their most weakest selves, to where they have complete X-rated vision, complete third, fourth dimensional vision, where they see exactly who they are and what they are. Like the opportunity to see true self in its purest form, with the ultimate good and ultimate bad. That's when you could do some serious power shifting. That's when you become one. That's where you become fearless and conscious of yourself and the fucking world around you. You know what I'm saying? It's like can't nobody tell you if you don't do that. Now you're subject to the after effect of believing that something is power, or believing something is fear, believing by definition of the person that gave you the thought or the idea of the aspect of what that is. It's like you don't know the point. in translation, I mean that nobody truly know what good is until you experience what evil is, and vice versa. You would never truly know, what evil or what good is. You would never truly know what God is. You would never truly know none of these things until you meet it, until you experience it. You can't avoid. The world is taught to avoid a lot of experience, but when people be claiming a lot of shit, that should be crazy to me. It's like if we half-ass understood our true selves and true powers, we would have never settled with the technology, the technical universe, that's ran and controlled by technology. We would have never settled with these forms of communication. Like us settling for telecommunicational devices, you know, through cell phones and back in the day, pagers, two ways, and shit like that. We would have never settled with that because we already know that we can communicate, telepathically. We would have never settled for that. But yeah, we didn't fail from a far place. That's way higher than this shit right here. Like our personal experience here on this particular earth is an experience of our lowest vibrational selves, where we trying to relearn ourselves in the midst of learning each other. And that's actually one of the secrets too. It's like absolutely everything in the world that you touch, that you see, every person that you meet, every experience that you have is aids to the learning experience of who true self really is. Because self gets the opportunity from every experience to learn another aspect of self. But that's only if you entertain the whole point and power in constantly pushing to for newer experiences or higher experiences, because every experience is not necessary, even though some experiences are necessary to have at least one time, what I'm saying, one good time, just so type shit. You see what I mean? Because we can't just live off the perception of a certain reality. If we would experience that, we have some things you absolutely need to experience personally, so you get to understanding and knowledge based on experience outside of what you seen or somebody told you or what you read. But the point of me saying all that is, man, like, people got to stop taking shit so goddamn personal. You know what I'm saying? Quit taking shit so personal. Quit taking every goddamn thing you see literally and absolutely. Quit assuming shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when I be reading some of these comments or some of these videos, I be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's like what the fuck are you talking about? These are individuals that don't know who the fuck they are, because they knew who they are. They want to constantly see based on something I share is it is triggering something inside of them emotionally, spiritually, because they feel indirectly or subconsciously attacked based on what they personally believe. You know what I'm saying? So if you take and remove a person's sole belief, most people can't afford that, because they feel like without that belief, that particular belief in relation to that particular subject or topic, will remove all power that I thought I had. or protection that I thought I had. And that's primarily what it always is, some form of protection. Because a person that realizes who they are, as a person, as a man or a woman, and as a true God, you know, um, with somebody, it's like, how do you, how do you spend energy, somebody you never fucking met, you do not know, you don't know what they believe in, what they're this and that. If you're not going? It's like when your mama tell you, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. It's like, why do you follow somebody that you disagree with, that you have different beliefs in and stuff like that? Like, why are you on my shit? You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody coming to your house and motherfucker critiquing you on your goddamn the paint on your walls. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I ain't tell you to come over here. That'd be my thing. It's like, I ain't tell you to come over here. So like, just like you can get the fuck out. Like, you don't have to be here, right? That'd be my thing. It's like I don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. So when people respond like this, that tells me they assume they know my intention. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and they assume they know me. You don't know me, man. You don't know me, what I've done, what I've been through, what level of consciousness I'm on to even waste your energy. I'm talking about, these are the people that's writing these long ass paragraphs. Like we got Mr. Ryan here. Look at this guy, Mr. Ryan here. Then you look at people's playlists, that should be hilarious. We got Mr. Ryan here. Like, all right, here he goes with the assumption. The first sentence, as soon as he come off, I implore you to do your own research. This is riddled with errors of history and consistently appeals to the authority of science. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And then they expect you to read all this shit. Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? That's what I'm just trying to, like, what are you talking about? Dude, I fucking run a network. This is just information. I didn't say this is my religion. I didn't say this was my truth. I didn't say none of that. It ain't like I put something in the title or description that said what everybody needs to know and follow. You know what I'm saying? All I did was this is the name of the book. I just put the name of the book and view description if you would like access to more books of any kind. Well, not any kind, of such in spirituality, UCC, contract law in general, whatever, self, and whatever the fuck. You can find all that shit inside the fucking Hellraiser Legacy. That was the point of this. And this was a sneak peek of the conversion of audio, where I'm converting over the goddamn PDF books and shit like that over to audio as a goddamn courtesy to the fucking members of the Hellraiser fucking Legacy. That's all the fuck this is. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I just don't be understanding. Ryan, I don't gotta be careful what. Let me tell you something, Ryan. And I'm glad Ryan's on here. I don't have to be careful about shit I put out on my shit. What people gotta start doing is being careful who the fuck they talking to. That's what people gotta be careful about. I don't have to be. Let me tell you why I don't have to be careful what I put out. I don't have to be careful about what the fuck I put out, is because I know what the fuck my intention is. I don't give a fuck about what anybody else's intention is. I know what my intention is. That's what I know. I know what my intention is. I don't give a fuck with somebody. My intention doesn't have nothing to do with what anybody thinks. What anybody thinks about me or what the fuck I put out. I know what my intention. So based on my intention goes with the fucking laws of the universe. My intention, my intentional energy that I share to the world, to the internet world, I gotta deal with the motherfucking true creators and the gods and the fucking devils and the demons. I don't gotta be careful of shit. What people gotta do is start being careful to who the fuck they talking to. That's what people gotta be a little bit careful on. My intention is to destroy all evil. By killing them with the success of good. So anything I put out is always with the absolute most positive intention, especially in relation to the consumption of my people. I don't gotta fucking be careful on shit. It's like the whole reason why the whole fucking world is fucking, everybody is like weak as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like as a unit, as a whole. And this is the main reason, because people fear so much. People fear so much is fucking ridiculous. It's like it's just like there's no way that we can get to a level of true power and understanding true spirituality and understanding any forms of aspect of a so-called truth if you're not able to be exposed to the world of information. It should not be an issue if the topic of discussion may go against what we believe in. But it's one thing to have experienced a piece of evidence of information, and then you have the conscious right to choose not to entertain that after you experienced what it not based off what you heard, but after you've walked through those doors, and you're basing things based on your personal experience, not what you read and what you perceive off what you read. That is not an experience of nothing. I don't give a fuck what you read. I don't give a fuck what, I don't give a, it's what did you experience? And then you could say, you know what, I see the point in doing that, but you know, for the most part, that's not really something that'll if anything goes against your ability to reach your higher self, that ain't the shit for you. And the only way to really always be able to see the truth, how you look, the easiest way to keep your shit sharp, you have to always challenge. Self has to always challenge self. So in the aspects of mentally, spiritually, and psychologically, consciously and subconsciously, you use information to do that. When people talk about religion, or when you talk about religion in general, in layman's terms, that is talking about the difference between good and evil, the light and the dark, God and demon, man and God. You know what I'm saying? So, but if we only base our shit, if we only base our shit on a belief system and not a no system, you either know or you don't know, and you only can know based on experience. I can swear up and down to you, blah blah blah, and be telling you this, blah blah blah. You know, based on all the books I've read and how long I've been going to this thing right here and blah blah blah. And you looking at me like, nigga, how's you telling me about this shit? And I've lived it. Oh, but you ain't read no book. This book right here, bruh. People is funny, man. People's funny as hell, man. So look, I'm not finna stop. I got so much shit is ridiculous. I'm not finna stop sharing information. People are funny, man. It's only the scary people though. It's like I'm not finna not share some shit for the sake that somebody might take you wrong. I'm just not finna do that. Because honestly, well, it depends on what it is. Anything in relation to I might do that for business, but anything in relation to spirituality and religion, once I start putting shit out, I'm not worried about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I have no rules when it comes to that. Outside of a general level of respect for the people that do believe in that shit. I still have respect because I have respect with people in general, but not because I agree with the aspect on how they receive information, you know, and a particular belief system. And you know, everybody have their own beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't share shit and have not once shared no shit so that everybody can believe what the fuck I believe. Like I'm not finna be having no goddamn, you know, no. I mean, this is my thing. If people start coming to me to request, you know, to speak about different topics and stuff like that, like my people, you know, yeah, of course, but not like to the public. You know, that's personal. You know, my personal beliefs is not for it's not for I find it wrong that a warning you took offense to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I did take that in offense, Ryan. I did. You know what? And I appreciate you clarifying your intent. You know what I'm saying? See, it's one thing. It's one thing to It's one thing. It's one thing to take something a certain way. You know, like you was talking. You was talking directly to me. And when you comment on my video, you're talking directly to me. You're talking to me. So, and it's relation to something you disagree with on my channel. So now, not even to you, but for the other people that wrote all that other crazy shit on there, that had nothing to do with me. My thing was, you assumed my video wasn't for you, so it had nothing to do with you. That's my whole point. But now you talking to me directly. But when my video had nothing to do with you. I do things how I know I need to do things to accomplish my mission. Everything I do and everything I say is intentional. Therefore, there's nothing for me to be careful about. And because I understand the mind frame of the people, and especially my people, I do this purposely to challenge. So I am the challenger. I'm always gonna challenge. That's how you become great. I don't know what type of people that a lot of people grew up with and been around, stuff like that. But I was taught to understand based on my experience and my upbringing. You become better. You become better based on who you choose to surround yourself around that is going to challenge you. And now, once you realize the power in that, now you purposely and intentionally surround yourself around a certain type of people and a certain type of energy to challenge you, to bring you up into a higher level of self. Because you can't do nothing but to get stronger. It's impossible to stay at that same level if you only surround yourself with people that have as a high or higher energy than you in different areas. Yeah, so that was my point, Ryan. Like I said, I didn't know your intent. Just like you didn't know my intent. You didn't know my intent because you don't know me. You don't know my intent for why I'm putting whatever I'm putting on my channel. I keep putting emphasis on my, you know what I'm saying? So anybody, I would think that anybody that's on my channel, has something about me that they like. So that means we are on the same wavelength on whatever we're into or whatever. So this is for them. You know what I'm saying? It's not for people that disagree with me or whatever. It's not for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things, man. So that's why I say, like, when some of you guys post these long ass comments, as if you know me and you know my intent and what I, you know what I'm saying, like my whole mind frame. And those are not facts. It's like it's like a waste of your energy. Because everything I do is purposely done. I'm gonna keep doing times 10. So especially in the relations to a spiritual a spiritual battle is never something I'm running away from. That's like people can run away from people can run away from guns, knives, the world around them. But you can't run away from that spirit. So anything in relation to spirit, I don't like budge on. I'm putting it all out there. I'm boom, 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 boom. I don't have to worry about a comeback from, you know, those that be in the blase blah, because me and those guys have already met. You know what I'm saying? Some of them still actually stay with me and shit. Couple of them over there, couple of them downstairs. You know, one might be in the room, in the bedroom. Who knows? You know, so I don't need that type of advice. That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm not. I'm just. I'm. I done been there. I done been to that place over a decade ago, and been had that portal open since I was a little guy. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first war I fought. You know, shit, before a teenager. Talking about that, you know, talking about spiritual battles and stuff like that. I gotta say that whole Prince of the Darkness shit, I'm all the way with the shits, the 100 grand on that shit. So, you know, and you know what? I be loving the opportunity. If I like when I meet somebody that's like especially like on a physical level, when I meet somebody and usually on the physical level, that's how they win shit. You know, for whatever type of physical type of energy they give off, and they, you know, the perception of the energy is like they be all scary and shit to the average motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I love meeting people like that, and that's why anybody that knows me will see that shit. You know, everybody that's around me has like a umph to them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I stay around that dominant energy type shit, but because of that, I don't draw off that on anything on the physical world. You know, on the spiritual world. See, I'm ready for. We can go there anytime, any day. It's like that's how I turn up. You know what I'm saying? I love that Super Saiyan shit. Let's go. Let's do that shit. Let's go. Let's go there. Let's go to the place that you scared to go. That you trying to warn me about. I was there when I was 7. I was there when I was 7. You talking about those guys? Oh, they used to come to the crib every night around midnight when mama left for work, and I'm staying at home in the basement. Talking about those guys? Talking about those guys? Boy, people be too scared on that spiritual shit. Get too caught up in that the religious mind frame. Well, okay, Ryan, if you've been there, you should know what I'm talking about then. So that means we should be on the same page. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, man. So besides Ryan, I mean, Ryan wasn't that bad anyway, though. He was just, you know, like I said, still assuming that this was something that was like, yo, guys, you know, like that I was, you know, promoting or you know, like supporting in a way where it's like, see, I'm able to take any bit of information, especially on the spiritual side. I listen to this whole situation or read this whole book with the most openest mind. I'm able to, because that means I'm able to travel through the psychology of this ancient teaching, right? And I'm able to navigate through. And first off, I'm able to make it through and come back on the other end, you know, with no problems. And then with that, it's no way possible to travel from one place to the next through another experience of anything. You don't come out of there with a higher level of understanding or overstanding. It's impossible. That's the benefit of challenging yourself with information that goes against what the fuck you believe. So you actually want to intentionally, sometimes, not all the time. I'm talking specifically spiritually. When we start talking about, you know, contracts and government and all that stuff, I'm not talking about that. So let's be clear. You don't want to entertain yourself with too much information about this and about that. You stick to what the fuck you know on, you know, you wait for information to come to you type shit, you know, metaphysically. But as far as spirituality, to keep yourself sharp and tight and strong spiritually, you always want to challenge your understanding by going into different perspectives, of knowledge and power, and the whole concepts of God and creation and all that stuff. It's like you always want to damn near find a situation where you contradict your understanding or belief or whatever like that. You always want to, you always, no matter what you choose. And then at some point you got to get to the point where you're not actually choosing. See, we get to the point where we want to name drop, where it's like, where you want to claim, like you feel like the power comes with claiming, like at one point, okay, I grew up in a Christian household, you know what I'm saying? But, because of my guidance and the parenting that I experienced, you know what I'm saying, at some certain point in time, my mother in particular wanted me to experience different things. So she sent me on my way. A lot of things she didn't even experience, but she made sure I did it. So now I can have a choice, and nobody can be in the actual position of choice, a conscious position of choice, if they are lacking areas of experience in multiple areas of what they're deciding to devote 100% of their belief and energy to. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say what religion is best for you, because you haven't experienced, you haven't had the opportunity to achieve and choose. For one, 90% of us choose a belief system because it was within the family that we was raised in. So you didn't choose that because, that's something that, based on your experience in life, blah, 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 you came across this and you decided to choose that. No, you didn't. Most of the time we were raised inside of a particular belief system. And then from there, as we get older, you know what I'm saying, we might branch off into other areas of experience, But most of us get caught into the same shit. We don't entertain nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It's like if it's not in that book, that shit is the devil. That shit is not true. This is not. You're the devil, and blah 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 blah. That's evil. That's evil. A lot of shit people be saying is evil is actually the opposite. And then vice versa. It's a lot of things that's vice versa, and a lot of contradictions in a lot of these different manuals. You know what I'm saying? But that is what it is. So, like I say, when I was trying to control my energy, because there is a dark side. So the dark side is really still the challenge of self. So self is trying to figure out, who self is, and how to protect self, how to master self and stuff like that. But during that rise, it's like you have all these other deities. Some of them are most popular than others, meaning some of them have more followers. You get it? Followers. Some of them got more followers than the others. You know what I'm saying? So some of them more popular, you know what I'm saying, based on popularity. You see what I mean? And this is before Instagram and Twitter. But that whole concept of followers, right? It's always been about followers. That's why you got very few leaders. The majority of the world are followers. You're taught to believe. You're not taught to question, to gain any type of understanding. So that's just a fucking reality. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of the world still thinks they have to go outside of themselves in order to see self, which is God. All right, Ryan, you say that is wrong. All right, fine. That was wrong. Whatever you talking about was wrong. That's wrong. I'm wrong. You're right. I'm wrong, and you're right. Let's give it up for Ryan, everybody. You're right and I'm wrong. That still proves my point when I say it's something in people where they just cannot contain and control themselves when you question anything that they believe and they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because there's clear factors here. Ryan doesn't know me, but there's also a great possibility because his interaction that he feel like he absolutely needs to respond right now and be on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Listening to me express myself off of what I know about self. Maybe Ryan doesn't know himself. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, Ryan, but you're right and I'm wrong. You're right and I'm wrong. Great. Now what, Ryan? What now, Ryan? Now that we got that straight. You're right and I'm wrong. Now what? What you want me to do next, Ryan? Questions are quests for truth. Okay. Yes. But you can't settle for questioning. You have to experience. See, it's one thing to ask for something to tell you an answer as opposed to an experience showing you the answer. Just because I heard the answer, somebody can tell me the truth, but I still won't truly know the truth until I've seen the truth, till I've lived the truth. But anyway, like I say, I'm right. You're right, and I'm wrong. That means that it says Ryan is right. That means Ryan needs to activate his camera on his page, and he needs to share with us the truth. Tell us what the truth is, then, Ryan. Please, please show us. Going through a spiritual awakening is very lonely, definitely scary, and it's confusion. Absolutely. Oh, Ryan said he was agreeing with me at the moment. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like I say, there's no victory. It's like what you don't understand is that I'm already knowing that there's no way to win that battle. I forfeit. You know, for me to be right and you to be that's still there's still no victory in that. I'm just asking what gave you the what encourages people to come to my channel, you know, and you know, like, okay, do that on your, tell us the truth on your channel then. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I appreciate that, Ryan. And you're welcome anytime. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say God is the devil and the devil is God. As you are the positive and negative, it's just which beast you choose to feed and entertain. It's all energy. But if your life is hell, will you sacrifice what's I guess it cut off? See, statements like that, see, you can't make that on any YouTube channel. It's like the average person will be like, "Oh my God, what is Shrug saying?" But shit, you have to be to a certain place spiritually and confidently spiritually to even make that type of remark. And that's not necessarily the statement that he made. That's not to say that I absolutely believe in that statement 100% to its entirety in all aspects. What I'm saying is that still is a uniform absolute truth in a certain aspect, in a certain reality, in a certain way. That is still facts. These are still facts. But these facts, the problem with these facts and any other facts is that these facts are harder for people to digest. These facts are harder for people to deal with. A lot of people cannot read. A lot of people wouldn't even be able to read the first sentence. First of all, most 80% of motherfuckers wouldn't even be able to read the first 4 words when he said God is the devil. Now I'm not saying that. They're already talking about God is the devil. You know what I'm saying is that I get what he's saying, and I know I get his intent because he's only communicating with me based on the perspective that of the topic of discussion on the wave that we talking on. So I don't misunderstand him. I'm not misunderstanding what he's saying. I get exactly what he means, and I feel like those are nothing but facts. It has nothing to do with any emotional aspects of and current beliefs of the aspect of a god or a devil. That's what I'm saying. This is just a general law. That statement is just a general law, universal law, and law of balance. Where you have both sides and two different sides which are actually still equal. They have to be equal in order to be balanced. Except they're equal on the opposite side. And the only thing that determines good or evil is the perception. uh, saying it. Ryan need to kick rocks in his flip flops. Yeah, man, Ryan funny, man. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, he probably needs Jesus, man. Needs to go to heaven. Yep. Duality. In the end, there's no place. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cell. You see how he spelled? You see how he spelled the word self? Cell. Each cell holds. Each cell holds a piece of information. Cell. So what is that? What is that metaphorically or metaphysically? Familiar to cell. What other type of cell do we know that holds information? Cell phones. What transmits information? Cell towers. You know what I'm saying? It's always about the cell. The journey takes place within. It starts within and it ends within. So there's a part in the Bible where that God says he creates good and he creates evil. I believe in Exodus. Mm. Mm. Isaiah 45:7. Say God controls all. Mm. Now, who is God? What is God? You see what I mean? These are the when we say things, we have to know. We just have to know on all areas that we understand. Like we have to understand all areas. You can't just say something. You can't just say that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what that is. All love, innocence. It's like Everything is in degrees. Absolutely. Energy is held in battery cells that charge. But yeah, so that's my disclaimer. So, I take a little time to address certain things with that, especially if I put out maybe some new type of material. Even though this is not new, I typically do this a couple times out the year. If those go back into my resume and my history logs or whatever, and that's how I keep the balance. Because I mean, this is stuff that this, like I said, my personal. It's like I have my certain things that that I do or keep sharp on to keep me at balance. You know what I'm saying? So, I like to share that stuff. So maybe other people might do the same. Oh, the Gospel of Thomas is some deep shit. For all the Bible readers, go check out the Gospel of Thomas and then come back and holler at me. I'm not wearing no goddamn mask. No. Kids going back to school, I don't gotta worry about that. So that's my disclaimer to any spiritual or religious related information I share. It's a library. The Hellraiser Legacy is a library with a various different topics in relation to certain things. And since the journey that we on, is a physical journey, it's just as much as a spiritual journey too. So we have to deal with the spirit. We got to put in the spiritual work too. We got to bring that with us. You know what I'm saying? That's how we sustain the foundation. So just like certain information scares people off, definitely when you bring in the spiritual aspect and a challenge of a spiritual aspect, that can challenge a belief system. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely gonna scare people off, and that's absolutely 100% of what we want and what I want and what my whole intention is. It's all about scaring off the people that ain't ready, that don't get the point, that can't just openly receive and subtract what's needed and what's not needed, not take something personally or this and that. Can just receive information and properly digest for your best interest and spiritual benefit. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to take information in. So that being said, it's the end of the month, so we're doing a little house cleaning. You dig? So I know I'm gonna lose. I know I'm gonna lose a nice fraction of you. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not about numbers. I need quality, not quantity. I need quality. Quality. I'm looking for the guys out there. I'm looking for the goddess. I'm looking for my real God brothers and God sisters. That's what I'm looking for. So when I do shit like this, I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm just trying to see I'm trying to see who gonna respond and how they gonna respond. Motherfucker run out every time. That's like if I had roaches or some shit, and I know all of them hiding this shit when I come in the house. Now they be hiding shit. But I come into the kitchen, I throw some shit at the goddamn toaster. Motherfuckers come out. All I'm doing is throwing shit at the goddamn toaster. Like, relax. Ain't none of my people in the Hellraiser Legacy looking at this information and receiving it like that. It's like motherfuckers taking it. Okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? trimming off whatever needs to be trimmed off for themselves and moving on to the next piece. We don't get stuck. See, motherfuckers be getting stuck on one piece, on one book. Oh my, I'm gonna give my life to this. Oh my God, this is the truth. This is the only. Motherfucker got you to believe the truth is in one thing. The truth is in one manual, one way, one person. Nah, it ain't. It's not. This is not the fucking reality. We are in the war between good and evil right now. So why wouldn't I share this type of shit right now? We're in the war between good and evil right now. So why not show people? Why not show people what's evil and what's really good? And a person can't consciously detect which one is which if you haven't truly experienced the so-called evil information. Most of the information that the world has taught you is evil, is dark, is bad, have given me the most powerful. I'm talking about enlightenment and understanding of every fucking thing around me. And then when I started actually actively traveling through dimensions, taking dimensional journeys, meeting and greeting deities. Come on, man. Motherfucker can't tell me nothing. Motherfucker can't tell me nothing on that shit. But like I said, I'm open to receive. That's why it's like right now. This is what I'm doing. You know, I'm going through search. I'm going through all type of information, bringing it in that completely would be like, well, damn, why the fuck you reading that? I don't know, man. I'm just something I need to see. You know what I'm saying? Something I'm looking. You know, and it's not nothing I'm looking for. It's something like the spirit is looking for. It's like because you can't truly identify the enemy. See, that's the biggest fucking problem. It's like, man, we don't know who the enemy is. And we don't know where the enemy has started to gain control. Our job is to challenge each other spiritually. Spiritual challenges. We are looking for spiritual experiences. And I'm not talking no intentional negative experiences. And when I say the darkness, yeah, especially in the beginning, it's some real dark and appearance seems and appears and feels extraordinarily negative. Yeah, 100%. You yes. But that is you. That is the mind and the spirit fighting through the perception of what evil is. Then once you break through that shit, you see the fucking light of reality and realize the actual fucking evil and darkness was just the perception of it. You get done with that shit, you get out. You see all the gold, all the answers. You know, just the beauty of just being. You know what I'm saying? Just existing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you start to appreciate the life forms around us. You know, you acknowledge. You know, sometimes when the wind blowing, you know, not just the acknowledgement for the wind, for the fresh air, for the goddamn trees that are responsible for transferring that goddamn carbon monoxide into that fucking that fresh air. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying be one of the people that be hugging trees and shit. I done met those people. Like I said, I had the opportunity to have a lot of interesting people in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Some extremists, man. Some extremists. But just to get to a certain level of neutral. I think neutral is balance. So I'm talking about like neutral consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Just neutral, where you're open. You're not that means you're not selecting. When I was going through my majors transition in adulthood, that is through the spirituality, I was looking for to say, you know what? I'm a Buddhist. That's what I'm gonna be. First, I was like, shit, I'm gonna be a warlock. I'm gonna be a Buddhist. I'm gonna be a Scientologist. I'm gonna be a Muslim. I'm gonna be a. First, I was a Christian. It's like, and we look for that title for some form of entitlement that we think is power or is the power and is the answer. But then we realize there's always been some form of feel of separation between you and the actual power of the so-called God. Look, crazy wild videos say, sounds like my DMT trip. Oh shit. Might have to get a call in on that one. Don't everybody don't know what that is. Sounds like my DMT trip. And we're gonna have to talk about you gotta tell me what your experience was. We ain't gotta do it tonight. We can do something separate on that. That is a whole another topic and subject that definitely relates to the dimensional travel and the stuff like that I was just referring to. That's actually what it refers to, to be honest. But like I say, I'm gonna make that a separate. You dig? With I'll probably get one of my other God brothers online and stuff like that too, so we could put that in, because that's some shit that's gonna throw motherfuckers complete left field with it. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand the beauty in that experience, man. You talking about spiritual? All right, y'all. If we have a DMT, we're gonna have a DMT dialogue. Who down with joining that? I'm talking about especially those that have done it. I'm looking for those that have experienced that or the ayahuasca. Yeah, I can tell. See, shrugs. See, when things are text and put in like words or some shit, there's so much room for things to be perceived a certain way. That's why they say it's always good to talk to somebody directly. But if you're on a certain level and on a certain frequency, because they're just words you type, you can have an intentional frequency that transmits from your mind into your words. You know what I'm saying? And that frequency will actually transmit to me exactly how you intended it. You know what I'm saying? Or can. You know what I'm saying? So when I read like when I was reading Shrugs, messages and stuff like that, I understood exactly what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? I get everything he's saying, how he intends it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's putting in a certain type of energy when he's typing. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you on that certain way, you get what people saying. That's why I say this is for us. This ain't for people that don't understand even what the fuck we talking about in the aspect of what we talking about. Like people be butting into a conversation that ain't got, you know what I'm saying, nothing to even do with the fuck they even talking about. Like what the fuck is you even talking about? Yeah, I definitely look. I tell y'all this. When on my first ayahuasca trip, oh yeah, I was a tree hugging MFer. You talk about grounding. You talking about grounding. Matter of fact, what the most profound experience that grounded me the most to its highest level, you know, and I'm talking about simultaneously, mentally, spiritually, and physically, was when I did rapé. When I did rapé right before ayahuasca ceremony, I'm talking about, man. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Talking about hugging a tree. Oh yeah, I was on some shit. I definitely had an appreciation and attractiveness to Mother Earth in this absolute form. Yeah, you do anything to find your place in this world after everything you thought you knew to be true has been true. Yeah, that's man, that's some serious shit. Crazy wild video. Somebody got sub on it right now. Hey, pass that shit. Pass that shit. Shout out, King Morpheus. Mm. All right, we're gonna get it in. So say the Kundalini. Talking about that Kundalini, that serpent. A lot of people scared of that snake. There we go again with there we go again. Like if for Unity 333 would not be able to have that experience the way they had that experience on any level because it wouldn't exist in the reality based on a religious or beliefish blockage. You know what I'm saying? And I created that word because when you're talking about Kundalini and the Kundalini rising, the Kundalini is referring to the snake. And uh, my most ultimate experience on Kundalini rising was also doing a ayahuasca ceremony, and to the point where, like I say, the so-called feeling of like a snakish type of movement and feel, you actually feel that shit rising. You know what I'm saying? But the most profound thing about it is that the energy, maybe it's just me, and maybe because I'm a man, the energy of the serpent and the Kundalini energy actually has the energy of a supreme feminine being, like a goddess. You know what I'm saying? And when I say, like I say, man, that connection is, there's a very odd connection with that. Once you realize exactly what it is, you truly understand the energy to the point where you remove the fearful blockage. Because at first, when you first feel it, it's like motherfuckers get scared and shit. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So once you eliminate that, and how you eliminate that, well, at least I know during like an ayahuasca. So we're gonna get in that. We're getting that later. We're getting that later. We're getting that later. We're getting that later. So we're gonna do one, man. We finna turn this shit up. We finna turn this shit up. See, a lot of people don't know that spiritual side is the first and most important area of status correction. Straight up. Shit, you could ask some of my guys, you know what I'm saying, some of my other guy brothers and stuff. They tell you like that shit, especially like the ones I just met. You know what I'm saying, like within like a 5 year span. Yeah, we had to have ceremony of some way, form, or fashion on a spiritual level in order for me to even rock with niggas. That's how real my shit be. So usually anybody, not at least if it's not 9 times out of 10. Well, let me think. Anybody's probably seen me on a video with that I've shared on YouTube. That I'm talking about, not just anybody. I'm talking about the people that it seems like I'm rocking with them. Yeah, motherfuckers had to go to that spiritual shit with me. You know what I'm saying? You can ask them, ask anybody. Oh yeah. But this is in my personal. This is in the this is when you know the real me. You know what I'm saying? This is when you know the real me. You know what I'm saying? So and that's just regular. You know what I'm saying? That it's not regular to y'all. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, ayahuasca. DMT trip is lasts probably about no more than 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Usually around the shit 3 to 5 minute spill. But like I say, the thing, like when somebody says that, and somebody that hears that doesn't really know what we're talking about, or just hearing about the DMT, they would say they would think of it based on the perception of what they think time is. We say, oh, it just lasts you 3 minutes. She'd be like, oh, that wasn't, what the fuck type of satisfaction is that? 3 minutes? Especially when you start telling motherfuckers how much some shit costs, or how long it takes to make, and all the other good shit. Because all of the world. Now let's be specific. All of the world, everybody on the fucking planet has a false perception of time that have not had the actual experience to show them the true essence of what time is. And then once you understand that, you realize really time is just a device that is used to control time. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? But time is like a limitless, eternal type of thing. And it's like it's instantaneous. You know what I'm saying? It's unlimited, it's limitless. So yeah, DMT is like 3 minutes, but you can come back with fucking 300 years worth of information. You could have had a 30-year experience in 3 minutes with DMT. That's what I'm saying, and I'm saying literally. I'm not saying like, what I'm saying, like I'm talking about literally. Now, ayahuasca. Now, if somebody asked me that was trying to go on like take that level and tap into that highest level of self, you know what I'm saying? Take that journey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like get on that train type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a straight shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like look, what I'm saying is like, yeah, you could do your practices, your meditation, and all the other stuff in general. You can do whatever the fuck. Yoga, all other shit, right? And then you will meet certain areas, be able to come to a stillness with self, to be able to gain a certain area of generalized consciousness. Yes. But if you want to turn that shit up 1,000 times 10 and experience that shit, and to the point, see, man has a false perception of God and can't grasp the concept of God being self within, or is present within self within, because man in general has not experienced the power of God, or a power of God. There's a very significant difference between how you can feel on your on your strongest day. You could be the motherfucking a heavyweight fucking weightlifter, boxer, whatever the fuck you want to be inside this third dimensional world. That shit ain't got nothing to do. That shit ain't got nothing on that other shit on that fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th dimensions and beyond. You know what I'm saying? The power of that shit. When you feel that shit, your ass gonna be like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? So, and once you go, you ain't no turning back now, baby. Ain't no turning back now. So now everything else gonna be regular. It's like that's when you be like all these books and shit, all these books and shit like that, like all this, that's you trying to question self. That's not saying continue to feed self and feed the brain. I'm not saying that. I gotta be specific with motherfuckers. They'll take one word. If I don't fucking put a disclaimer in there, he said don't read shit. He said I didn't fucking say that. I'm saying that you don't need to go somewhere into something to find the aspect of self, any aspect of self. The aspect of self is what you will already know. And then self will fucking tell self where to go to get and it might be a book. It might be a book. It might be a TV show. It might be you going to sit in the park today. It might be something telling you to go over here, over there. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you know the spirit is guiding you, and not what the perception of the world and reality is saying. Oh, when you feeling down and you lose a sense of self, go to church. That's what I'm talking about. You're not going there because the answer's there, or you actually believe the answer's there. You're going there because you want the answer to be there. You know what I'm saying? But when you have that connection with self, there is no doubt. Or you know exactly what you need to do. Because nobody knows self greater than you. You say you reach a level of no self. That's a statement that you really have to know. You know what I'm saying? What level that is, because that is a statement that can be taken fucking wrong. You have to really go to sleep on that statement. You know what I'm saying? You have to reach a level of no self. You know, it's just like, what the fuck does he mean? You have to really know what that means. You know what I'm saying? That is one of these. That is one of the questions that you have to really understand. See, we go through too much shit and don't properly evaluate shit. What is that? What does it mean to reach a level of no self? So that goes back to the whole concept of meditation. Meditation being in general a form of controlled breathing, to go into a stage of focused thought. All right. But to go into the supreme level of meditation, you have to go into the ultimate form of nothingness, of thought, of no thought. Because the whole transition of meditation, from when you start and during the cycle of meditation, you're using the controlled breathing as a focus point. So the breath and it's the great focal point, because the breath is the actual chi and the energy or inner chi that is used to transmit the energy throughout the body, from the brain, the mind body, the soul body, and the physical body. So the breath is just a tool to get to the point of no thought, because of our current conditions and being not our human-like state. We're living off everything that's going on in our head. We got all these thoughts, sometimes all scattered thoughts, right? And you can't be at a point of actual meditation. So you could be trying to meditate forever, for hours. But you could have been meditating, you could have been sitting down for 4 hours. But technically you probably wasn't at a state of meditation for 10 minutes. Because you didn't kick in, it didn't kick in, your area of no thought didn't kick in until that last fucking 10 minutes. And that's probably all you needed. You see what I mean? But now we got to get to the point where we can get to that point and that degree to be able to receive whatever information we need to receive and keep a balance and to be able to control our responses and whatever the fuck, in this third dimensional plane with all these other individuals and things that's around us and shit like that that's outside of self. We need to be able to do that when we go to the store, when we go out to eat, when we're around people we know, when we're around people people we just meet, where we always have a sense of self, like to guide and direct, where you can see something, and that's what conscious self kicks in. That's what God intuition comes in, where you can see a person and you can see yourself, and with that reflection, you can see what could happen if you don't remove yourself from this or remove yourself from that or don't XYZ, because you already seen it play. So now you can change. You can actually change time now. You can change and fate. So now you're dealing with fate, time and fate. Or is it actually fate? Is there such thing as fate, or is fate just the aspect of if a person decides to go to make the absolute decision to go on a particular course, whatever course you decide to be on, you still need to keep a conscious head to be able to know when it may be time to jump off course or to switch courses. Now you got the power to stay there, but if you stay there, you might run over a pothole. Now, if you like it over there, it might still be good though, but you probably needed to swerve until the next you did and come back over. But how well is your eyes and how quick are your reflexes spiritually? Shout out to Kim Banks. Yeah, it's an extraordinary. That's like, I think that's an absolute must experience for everybody on the planet. If everybody on the planet had these particular type of experiences, the world would actually be a better place. Because it'd be a mostly conscious energy. True. Mm-hmm. Miss Innocent say, how do you know if you meditated correctly? Well, you know you meditated correctly when you don't have to ask if you meditated correctly. So the easiest way, meditation can and is tricky in the beginning. Like I said, because we live in a world that populates our minds with, because the brain always replicates things, you know, and creates these files and thoughts, you know, off from everything it sees, it produces information, and it's trying to figure things out. It's kind of trying to analyze and decode. You know, that's how the brain operates. So if I look at this, when I look at this glass, I can't just look at the glass. I'm looking at the glass, but my mind is looking at the glass, and then since it sees the sign, the logo on the other side of the glass, it's aware of it. So its awareness of the glass, it indirectly or subconsciously is thinking about what logo that is, what's the name, and then maybe, you know, all right, this is Ray Riley. You know, it says 100% employee owned. Like, what the fuck is that? I'm not thinking this actually consciously, but subconsciously, this type of stuff that goes on with the mind. So it produces all these different files in our brain all day, all day, all day, all day. This shit never stops. So meditation is a whole art of clearing the mind of all thought, actually, and then actually gets you and by using the breath as a focus point, but then even getting to the point, you know, when you at that meditative point, when you stop thinking, where actually the brain damn near cuts off to a certain degree, and then and then the breath actually stops. You know what I'm saying? You get to the point of like shit, damn near like no fucking air. You know, no breath. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we're using the breath as a focus point, we want to get to the point where we can release that, where we can remove that focus off the breath, and that's when you're being inside of self. If that makes sense. It's like as soon as you reach that certain point where the brain like shuts, gets to the level of no thought, you hold. Of course, you got to hold all the oxygen, all the oxygen that's been coming in. The whole meditation should have been. You should have been creating reserve, you know, reserve oxygen inside of your tank, and it's not necessarily literally, but spiritually. It's a certain way you use that shit. You know what I'm saying? And manipulate the breath to be able to hold it to the point of at no thought at the same time, where you're no longer looking for a thought, and you're no longer looking for a breath. That's a top secret, man. You're no longer looking for a thought, and you're no longer looking for a breath. That's when you're at the oneness. And I know you got these meditation gurus, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't go look. I know exactly what it is to actually be in a point of meditation. You know what I'm saying? Based on just experience or whatever. You know, a lot of this shit is taught, you know, incorrectly. That's because these motherfuckers ain't reached that level yet. That's why they keep telling you to focus on this and focus on that. They motherfuckers take shit too literal. You thinking about not only thinking about the goddamn breath, you making sure you sitting in a certain you know, area, in a certain chair, in a certain stance, in a certain position. You know, now of course, yeah, you want to keep the good posture, to keep the energy. The energy can transmit a lot easier, but in essence, you got some people that, you know, that just might not be a comfortable position, or at least not starting off. So does that mean that person can't reach the level of you know, of true self or oneself through meditation? Nah. You know what I'm saying? The best thing to do in that situation is to position yourself where you can be the utmost comfortable. You have to be comfortable. You can't do this in an uncomfortable position. But at the same time, beware. If you position yourself, it's like some people lay down on their back or whatever. But beware, because you are using that as an area of comfort, that if you fall, instead of falling to a deep meditation, your ass might just fucking fall asleep. So that's why they try to probably tell your ass you need to sit on the floor in Indian style and shit, so you won't fucking fall asleep before you fall into meditation. Oh yeah, I got you. Just hit me up. 888-597-8825 extension 104. That's for Miss Innocence. Just hit me up. Hit me up anytime. Definitely the greatest natural high. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because now once you get to that certain point, it's just like the first the mind is trying to remove all of the current files. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever happened throughout the day to day. What happened yesterday. Then once you start clearing all that front trash out, or information or thoughts, now the brain is just making up shit. The mind gets bored. So it's trying to now it's gonna start just computing random shit. You know. But yeah, I'm finna get up out of here. And hope everybody gets the point and my intention and doesn't assume anything about me that they don't understand. Understand my intent is always to uplift and to defend from the negative and the so-called enemies, and to empower and to find the God brothers and God sisters of this particular universe. Anybody else, I don't care to fucking meet. I don't want to meet you, talk to you. Nothing. I'm not for you. You're not for me. We're not on the same nothing. We have, our missions contradict each other. So whoever ain't on the same mission as me, just leave me the fuck alone. Peace, 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 peace.